So now I got another list for you. I'm seeing all these reports about the Giants trying to get a receiver. Ryan Dunleavy reported an hour before we started recording saying that this is going to be a real thing, that the Giants could trade for a receiver. And before I get to my list, there is one person that I'm seeing all over the place. Either the fans want to get or the analysts are seeing that this is a possibility. Jerry Jeudy. I do not want this man on our team. If we had him, if we got him, let's say 4 or 5 years ago, I'd say I'm all for it.
Mm-hmm.
When he was at Alabama, I think that he was one of the greatest receivers I've ever seen. The way that he ran routes, how fast he was, the way that he was breaking tackles for a small guy. I couldn't believe what I was seeing when he was coming out of Alabama. I was like, anybody who gets this guy is lucky to have him on their football team. And he really hasn't shown out as what they thought when he got drafted. And Jerry Jeudy, and these are real facts, by the way, he led the league in drops last year with 13 drops. And this year, he's tied for the league lead at 5. And as Giants fans know, we have a bug. We have a virus for this type of thing when it comes to receivers and drop passes. As much as we loved Odell, he dropped a lot. He dropped a lot of crucial passes. We had Evan Ingram. Oh, my God. We had Evan Ingram who was dropping, it seemed like every goddamn pass. Every time the lights were bright, Darius Slayton early in his career was dropping these clutch plays, these clutch passes that would have made or break a game for us. I'll never forget that Eagles game when he dropped the ball.
I know.
He dropped that ball that would have beat the Eagles at Lincoln Financial Field.
Oh
Was it
God.
like 3 years ago?
Yeah, it was. I remember too. That was dreadful.
I will never forget that. Also, that was the same thing with Evan Ingram. That might have been the same game, honestly.
Maybe.
Where he had a big drop. Any receiver who drops a ball, who drops a lot of balls, I don't want him on the team.
Okay.
I do not. So other than that, I guess you can say that's my honorable mention. But so I have 4 receivers here who I would think would be great on the Giants. And not all of them are likely, but it would be nice to see. I'm going to go from 4 to 1. Number 4, I'm going to go Jalen Waddle. I mean, who wouldn't want Jalen Waddle? Who would not want Jalen Waddle? He does get hurt, but I think it's worth the risk, especially if he's a 1-year rental. Oh, well. We can take him. He's one of the fastest guys in the league. He can burn any cornerback. He's on a Miami Dolphins team that's going under. He has his quarterback throwing everyone under the bus. I don't know if you saw that, Chris, but in the post-game interview, Tua is literally saying players are showing late to players things and stuff like that. So that's just going to blow up. That whole thing's going to blow up. I think everyone is going to be asking for trades at some point, if not before the trade deadline, then after this season. And I mean, if we're able to get Jalen Waddle on it with Wan'Dale Robinson and Theo Johnson, that's a threat. That's a good team right there. So I would love to take Jalen Waddle. So that's number 4. Number 3, I'll take Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley, he is a good talent, but he obviously hasn't had a good year this year or last year. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not blaming him. I'm not blaming him one bit. Yesterday, we just had the head coach of the Tennessee Titans get fired. I'm not going to lie, I forgot his name, but they fired him yesterday. And then last year, he was on a terrible Jaguars team who just had a terrible offensive scheme. And I'm not going to lie, he did drop some passes. He did drop some passes last year because he was on my fantasy team. And he screwed me about a few weeks, but I'm not blaming him. I'm not blaming him for any of the mishaps that he's had these past 2 years. I bet you if you get him into a good system, he will shine.
It's Brian Callahan is the name of the coach, Tom.
Brian Callahan.
I knew it was Callahan. I just forgot his first name.
Yeah, I completely forgot his name. So if we put him in a good system, I think he could shine. So that's number 3. Number 2, this is unlikely, but your boy, Garrett Wilson. Who wouldn't? Garrett Wilson is a top-tier running back, top-tier wide receiver in this league. Same thing as Calvin Ridley. Just a bad system. He's in a terrible system. He's the only receiver on the team, by the way. Like have you been mentioning, ever since the season started, he's getting double teams. How much does this guy really do? I mean, this guy is making miraculous catches just to keep these guys in the game. He's going to put up his numbers no matter what quarterback you have in front of him. His college quarterback, even though if it's in garbage time or not, he's going to try and help your team get touchdowns. He's a threat just being on the field. Even if he's getting double teamed or if he's not involved in the play, he is a threat just standing on the field. And I'm sure if he does hit the trade market or if he asks for a trade, every single team will be lining up to get him.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, you can't blame me for putting him on this list. And then number 1, which is everyone has been hoping for, which is the number 1 option for this Giants team, as in predictions, is Chris Olave. Chris Olave, he is 6 foot. He had a crazy first 2 years, but then obviously with the Saints offense, these last couple of years, they just haven't been the same. Just not enough talent on the team. He got hurt last year, so he really didn't have any stats last year. He got hurt early. You know, they've been going through quarterbacks after quarterback. And so honestly, you need him in a good system as well. And the Giants are on the up and up, and I would not be surprised if, you know, a lot of free agents are going to want to come to New York Giants to play with Scatterboo and Jackson Dart. And, you know, it seems like the defense has woken up ever since Jackson Dart has entered the game against the Chargers. It seems like they have way more juice. It seems like they have energy. It seems like they actually want to play for this team now, because once Russell Wilson was playing, it seemed like Dexter Lawrence wanted to get out of there immediately. I don't know if you saw his post-game pressures after those losses when Russell Wilson was playing. It looked like he was defeated. He was depleted. It looked like he wanted to get a trade there the next day. But now he seems happy again, and he's showing better numbers. But hey, we need a receiver. We need a receiver, and hopefully it's one of these guys, and I hope it's not Jerry Jeudy.
I don't see the Giants going after Jerry Jeudy. I mean, Garrett Wilson, that's an interesting one, right? Because he just signed his contract extension. The Jets, I think, would be a bit foolish. I think it would behoove them to try to trade a guy that they just extended over the summer. And you're right, he does still get his numbers, don't matter who is under center. He's got his three seasons of 1,000 yards each. So every year he's gaining 1,000 yards or more receiving, and he's, you know, you could say some games are stat padding, whatever. I got news for you. When you're in free agency in March and you're looking at, you know, guys that can join up with Garrett Wilson, you look at Garrett Wilson's stats. Don't matter if it's stat padding or it's in a clutch moment or in a big game. Stats are the stats. That's what they are. So Garrett Wilson, for the Jets to trade him, that'd be something else, especially I shouldn't even say cross town, because they play in the same stadium, but I'd be on the other New York team. That'd be something else. I mean, Breece Hall could get traded from the Jets. He's already expressed that he wants to stay here, but we'll see. And then I think Chris Olave is the good option. I think that is probably the most likely or the best choice for the Giants. I know we talked about DJ Moore, Dom, last week off air. That would be something, but I just don't see the Bears trading him, especially with a young quarterback under center and Caleb Williams. But I think that's a strong list. I think that's a very good list. And I agree with you. I would try to stay away from Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, obviously DJ Moore would be cool, but honestly, the Bears are doing good. I mean, they just won last night.
Right.
They just won last night. I think they're 4-2 right now.
Yeah.
Which I don't think anyone would have thought. So, I mean, that's pretty insane. And then also, for Chris Olave, I mean, it's just a bad system the last 2 years.
Yeah.
As of right now, he has 39 catches for 342 yards and 1 touchdown. I mean, the 1 touchdown, you can't blame him. I mean, you don't really have a good quarterback under center. Yep. And then 2024, he got hurt last year. He had 32 catches for 400 yards. That was it, and 1 touchdown for the whole year. And then this is where he really shined in 2022 and 2023. 2023, he had 87 catches, 1,123 yards, and 5 touchdowns. I mean, that's pretty great. Yeah. I mean, obviously, we would like the touchdown numbers to be higher, but I mean, if you have those yards, you're definitely being a big factor on your team. And then his rookie season, 2022, he had 72 catches for 1,042 yards. So,
yeah, that's those big game numbers. Yeah,
he'd be a perfect fit for this team. And I mean, I pray that Malik Neighbors is somewhat the same.
Yeah,
it'd be really hard. I mean,
I know.
For his ACL, what is his MCL? He had turf toe. This guy needs a new leg.
I know. Well, we'll see. I hope he comes back, and you know, he's either the same guy or he's even better.
Yeah, he's a generational talent.
I know. And he's going to be a big piece for the Giants in the wide receiving room going forward.
I'm sorry. One more thing. My God, the report came out, I think, yesterday or 2 days ago. The Bills, they live in the tundra. They basically live in Antarctica, right? It's so freaking cold over there. I don't know how people live there, to be honest with you. They're putting in grass, but MetLife Stadium can't.
Is the new stadium? Hold on a minute. Big question here. Is the new stadium going to be covered?
I don't know, but allegedly they're putting heaters under the grass. I don't know if it's going to be indoor or not, but really, in the Ice Age, you can have grass, but in MetLife Stadium in New York City, you can't have grass. How does that make sense?
I don't know. I have no idea.
and we have
I
more
knew
money.
about the heaters thing. I'm just curious if they're gonna have a dome, but probably not if they're gonna have heaters, because then what's the point of having a heater if you have a dome?
Just for the grass, just so like the ice melts, I
Right.
guess.
Right.
But and that's one team paying for that. No matter how much the grass is. I don't know how much grass is. I'm not a grass guy. But we have two franchises that play in the stadium. You can split the cost.
Listen, dude, it's still getting run by the city, and they'll obviously have to, it's going to be a municipal type thing, and it's going to be a certain tax loan that's going to have to get paid off. Sure, taxpayers are essentially helping pay that off. How else is the city going to get the money? And how else, these owners are going to try to pay it off? It's going to take years and years and years, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what they do.
And also, so you can have natural grass on the field for the FIFA World Cup, which lasts 5 minutes, and then you're gonna take it right off.
You sound very annoyed by this.
Yes, because all of our players are getting hurt.
I know. Hey, I'm with
Every
you, bro.
single player is getting hurt.
I know. I watch. I see. I know. I respect the passion, and I'm right with you, man. How do you not put grass on the field at MetLife? I get it. I'm with you 100%. I know. I know.
The
Yeah.
World Cup lasts 5 minutes, and they're gonna just yank the grass right off.
Well, yeah, because listen, Dom, I played soccer. I mean, yeah, there is a big difference between it's grass and turf. But
100%. Yeah,
I
I
played
played.
I played on a bunch of turf fields, throughout my days and my years of playing soccer. But listen, that's just what I'm sure. If it was turf, I'm sure they'd be like, well, we're not going to have the World Cup then in the U.S. So I don't know. What can I tell you? This is just what they agreed upon. But all right, well, I'm gonna get on to the Jets part here. Sounds like you really put your passion out there for grass. So talking about the Jets. They're just dog shit. They lost 13-11 to the Broncos in London. Dom actually woke up early for this one. God knows why. But third time in Jets history, they have started 0-6, 2020 and 1996, as we've already gone over the 0-5 starts last week. But 0-6 is the third time in their history. They are still the only team to not have a win this season. Congratulations. Aaron Glenn continues to be the worst first-year coach in Jets history. But on the contrary, the defense actually had their best game. But Ahmad Gardner continues to enhance my hot take because he just continues to get beat. He's going to continue to be viewed as overrated and overpaid so long as he keeps getting beat and wide receivers just totally manhandling the guy. He's the best player in the Jets secondary, but with their consistent deficiencies, he needs to play better because they don't really have a lot of good players in the secondary currently. Javian Sherwood had his best game this season, I will say, with the pass deflections and actually doing well in his spot in his area for linebacker and the coverages. Jarvis Brownlee, who they traded for from Tennessee, he made an impact immediately on the new team by punching the ball out of Troy Franklin's arms and recovering a fumble miraculously. They finally got their first turnover of the season, Dom. It took 6 games to get it done, and they finally got it. And on the first drive of the Broncos, they finally got a turnover. Jermaine Johnson was dearly missed. It was pretty obvious. He was an immediate impact on the pass rush and also on the run game. So that was great to see him back and healthy. And Stevens did much better in this game, I will say. He forced a offensive pass interference, so he actually looked a lot better in this game. Yeah, he gave up his yards, but Broncos really only scored 13 points. So defense did a lot better. Offensively, I thought I was watching Pop Warner football. Not really sure what I was watching. The last play in the first half made absolutely no sense to me. And I will admit, Aaron Glenn did admit it yesterday morning in the presser that he should have gone for a Hail Mary and let the clock go down to 3 to 5 seconds. I mean, when you're 0-5 and you're going nowhere on the season, I mean, you might as well try any play possible to the end zone and let the play clock go down. I mean, it's just the play clock was 10 seconds ahead of the game clock. I paused the highlights on YouTube, and the play clock was 35 seconds, and the game clock was 25 seconds. So there was no reason to not have a play, drawn up to have a Hail Mary. I mean, even Garrett Wilson was so confused that he was talking to Aaron Glenn aggressively about how, dude, I don't know what the hell we're doing here. Why aren't we running a damn play? Again, Aaron, you're 0-5. Just run the play. You got nothing to lose. I don't understand. You're not even going to get fired after your first year, most likely. Even if you go 0-17, which also really looks more likely than you getting fired after the season. Just let it rip. I just don't understand it. Justin Fields is not an NFL quarterback. He's not. Because if he was, he wouldn't have left Chicago. This wouldn't be his third team in 3 years. The Bears would have kept him, and he would still be playing for the Bears. He finished with 45 passing yards.
He's on my fantasy team.
45. He gave Dom 5 points in fantasy. Sacked 9 times, primarily holding the ball for 2 days per play. I mean, he holds on to the ball for a year. I don't understand what the hell he's waiting on. Not fair to the offensive line. Team had 82 total yards in this game. They went perfect, though, in the red zone, Dom. 0 for 0.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Correct.
Justin Fields' QBR was a 9. It was a 9. Josh Reynolds led all wide receivers with the most yards with 25. And the stat that says it all, Dom, for the Jets' horrific franchise, team had -10 total passing yards. Dom, I don't even think me and you could do that.
No.
Seriously.
We're just
Because
so
if
mad.
we finish with 0, we do better than that. It was
Yeah.
the worst. It was the worst in team history. And something that has not been done, check this, Tom, since the Bears went -20 in 1981 versus the Lions.
I really had to wake up early for this game.
I don't know why you did.
Because you know what? I thought it was going to be actually a good game. I thought, because it's like in London, like mostly like all these like overseas games, like they're usually good, even if it's
You're
low
sadly
scoring.
mistaken, pal. I don't know what the heck you're thinking. There's no way. The Jets are awful. The play that says it all, though, for this robust offensive line, it's the best part of the team. I'm going to be honest. I've been listening to a lot of people, and I was listening to a lot of people yesterday while I was prepping for this episode, since we didn't record yesterday. Nobody has said it. I'm going to paint the picture for you, Dom. I'm going to paint the scene for you. Fourth quarter, 1:56 left to play. Jets are at the Denver 47. It's 1st and 10. After Justin Fields just botched the snap and Breece Hall picked it up and actually ran for 12 yards. It was miraculous. My cousin got very excited. I said, pipe down. They got time to screw it up. Justin Fields gets sacked, okay? And Armand Membu is losing it. He lost it. Visibly upset. Again, fourth quarter, 1:56 left to play. Jets at the Denver 47, 1st and 10. They only needed 20 to 25 yards to get in Nick Folk's field goal range. Membu was blocking whoever he was blocking at the right guard position, and he turned around thinking Justin Fields made a great play. He escaped the pocket, scrambled, ran out. No, guy's on the floor getting sacked. Membu couldn't believe it. He lost it, visibly upset. And frankly, I don't blame him. The offensive line is getting sick and tired of this stupid idiot holding the ball for a week every play. Every play. He's holding it for a week. It's unbelievable. Breece Hall was not a factor in the pass game at all. I mean, that I just don't understand. But he was still the best player on the offense. 59 yards on 22 carries. Folks, if you do the math, 59 divided by 82 is 72%. He only had 59 yards, but that's 72% of their offensive yards. I should say, forget about offensive yards, their total yards. Like I said, the Jets only needed 20 to 25 yards to get into field goal range for Nick Folk, but instead they went for it on 4th and 8 on Denver 44. Fields got sacked for -12 yards and lost the game. Aaron Glenn did not think Nick Folk could hit a 60-plus yard field goal. You thought Justin Fields was going to get a first down on 4th and 8? Have you been watching the fucking game? Are you kidding? Nick Folk has been hitting every field goal. I don't care if it's 70 yards out. Kick the ball. Kick it. Justin Fields looked like shit. Did you read the stats, pal? -10 on offense. Kick the ball. I do not want to hear Aaron Glenn mention the 1-15 Lions anymore. Don't want to hear it. We don't give a fuck about it anymore. You're not the defensive coordinator of the Lions. You're the head coach of the Jets. Move on already. Dan Campbell is a very good coach, and he's got the persona that, frankly, Aaron Glenn can't even borrow. He can't have, let alone borrow. Okay? You're not Dan Campbell saying like, oh, it's our first year, we'll figure it out. Dude, I don't know. 6 games into the season, people are thinking, oh, maybe we should get a new coach already. This blew my mind, Dom, and you got to listen to this. A reporter asked Aaron Glenn if Justin Fields will be benched next week. Aaron Glenn said, what kind of question is that?
Yeah, so
Are you fucking kidding me?
It's a question that should happen every single time that you lose, especially when you haven't won a game this year.
Forget about that. -10
-10.
on offense. -10. What are we talking about? It's a very valid question. It's a fantastic one. I mean, don't decide to belittle Jets fans and Brian Costello, who has been doing this line of work for years. It's an extremely valid question. I don't understand. And this is what I mentioned to you, Dom, last night that I was saving for today. Tiki Barber said on WFAN yesterday, he said it best about Aaron Glenn's appearance so far this season. Aaron Glenn has a facade of confidence. Now, Dom, I don't know if you know what facade means, but I'll tell you what it means. A facade is the exterior of a building. So in this case, the exterior of Aaron Glenn shows confidence. The interior is no confidence. It's essentially trying to say he's a fallacy because he doesn't have confidence, but he tries to perceive to the media, to the Jet fans, to the general public that he's very confident. But that was a perfect use of words. He is a facade of confidence because he can't be confident right now. You're 0-6. There's no way. He is an NFL QB. And as I said before, because if he was, Chicago would have kept him and he wouldn't be on his third team in 3 years. Connor Rogers said it on the postgame show on SNY, Dom. If Tyrod Taylor played in the fourth quarter, forget about the second half. If he just played the fourth quarter, the Jets would have won the game. And I adamantly believe that. You got to use who you have for a backup. Tyrod Taylor should have been in the game. And now you're going to tell Jet fans and Brian Costello, what kind of question is that? If Tyrod Taylor should play next week? I mean, what? You serious? Get your head out of your ass, son. What the hell are you talking about? I just don't understand. Tyrod Taylor, if he's not starting, he should be starting in the second half and maybe even in the second quarter if Justin Fields turns the ball over within the first 2 drives. I mean, that's it. Bench the guy. Do something. It's called being a head coach. And, you know, I will say BT mentioned it yesterday, but not enough people are mentioning it. I'm just trying to think, where is the discredit for Woody Johnson? Where is it? Everyone's talking about Aaron Glenn, Darren Muji, the coaching staff, the offense, the defensive players. What about Woody Johnson? What about the guy who owns the team? How about that? Where's the discrediting of Woody Johnson and putting the blame on him? I don't understand. Something great happens. Oh, well, Woody Johnson did what? What did he do? He brought in a GM that so far looks like he's an idiot, and you got a head coach who doesn't know how to head coach. So what are we talking about? I'm going to make this very clear to all Jet fans, and frankly, even Dom, anybody who watches football. Woody Johnson, as long as he is here, the Jets will go nowhere. Very simple. As long as Woody Johnson owns the Jets, they will go nowhere. Nothing's going to change. Nothing is going to happen positively. Start coming to the realization that this organization will never amount to anything until Woody Johnson sells the team and there's new ownership in the building. There will be no winning ever. He took over the team in 2000. They've won the division once, 2002. That's it, with Herm Edwards. Other than that, they're not winning shit. Forget about it. And lastly, Dom, and this is the analogy that I've been saving, and this is what I'm going to use. And I'm sure my brother's going to be listening to this episode, so he'll listen to this also. Dom, do you know how when we go out with our friends, our parents, right? Your mom, my mom, they always say to us, hey, go out, be careful, be safe. But remember, you don't just represent yourself. You represent our family. Mm-hmm. So the way that the Jets play on the field and the way that Aaron Glenn talks in the press conference and the way that Woody Johnson runs this organization, you're making us Jet fans look like fucking idiots. Idiots. To keep on rooting for your fucking team because you're an idiot. You don't know what the hell you're doing. So the more you keep playing like this and the more you bring in the wrong people and you have a head coach who wants to belittle Jet fans and a media reporter who's been doing media for years, you're making us Jet fans look like idiots. And frankly, this is why when the Jets do this bad, I go and root for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because I went to college at the University of Tampa for 4 years and Dom was there as well. So I root for the Bucs. Because why should I root for an organization who can't get their head out of their ass, and then they look at us like we're stupid?
I
When
want
you go ahead.
I 100% agree because this was actually a real stat that happened last year where it wasn't ESPN, but it was like a high-end Twitter page where they did research. I don't know if you saw this on the dumbest NFL fans, like just people who just don't know what they're talking about. And came out last year, and the New York Giants were number one. Why do you think they were number one? It's because the Giants have been one of the worst franchises in the last 10 years.
So where were the Jets?
And so they're probably top. I don't remember the full list, but the Giants were number one. I'm sure the Jets were top five.
Had to have been. Had to be not right below them.
I'm sure they're top
Has to be
five.
number 2. Has to be number 2.
Could be number 2. But that's the
Gotta
thing.
be.
They make us look bad. They make us look bad in these decisions, especially when we had Dave fucking Gettleman as a fucking GM. Horrible. The players that we brought in, horrible. Eric Flowers and names like this, Kadarius Toney, people like that. They make us look bad.
It's sad. It's really sad. You make Jet fans out to be like they don't know who they're rooting for. They've never watched football in their life. They don't know who to whose jersey to buy. They don't. The more you act like that, the more I just want to move on from being a Jet fan. So that's the last thing I'll say.